Hi, I'm Tucker. I'm Crema's VP of Product.
And I'm Tyler, Crema's VP of Strategy.
Today, we're going to be discussing Crema's product team assessments. We'll be discussing what the service is, who it's for, and what you can expect to get out of it. The success of any product not only relies on the underlying technology, but on the health of the team behind it. We talk all the time about our user experiences, but not enough about our product team experiences. Crema's product team assessment will evaluate both your capabilities and your performance of your product teams and provide detailed recommendations for growth. This holistic assessment will help your organization unlock the ambitious outcomes that you've set out to achieve. We do this by ensuring your teams are structured, skilled, and aligned to create the desired impact.
Today, we're discussing Crema's product team assessments, what it is, who it's for, and what you can expect to get out of one.
So Tyler, what are some of the biggest challenges teams face in this area?
The first challenge that a lot of teams face is breakdowns in communication, whether they're sending emails at all times of day, or they're not clear, or in Slack, there's 1,000 messages. A lot of teams just have trouble communicating appropriately and clearly so that other folks on the team can understand what's going on. Another major challenge is that of unclear roles and responsibilities, where the development team says, no, we want this particular area of direction, or the design team says, no, we are the designers, we will design everything known to man as it relates to this product. And the trick of that is that you might have some developers who know how to make really good design decisions, or you might have a product manager who knows quite a bit about development. And so they start stepping on each other's toes without defining how to do that well, or how to make the most of each other's skill sets, giving each other's expertise in areas of actual responsibility so that you can shape the best product possible. And piggybacking on that is the challenge of silos and a lack of collaboration, where the product team, the product managers, they'll say, we're going to define the acceptance criteria, we're going to define what this product needs to do, and we're going to define how it's built. And then they throw that over the wall to designers, and the designers naturally have a lot of questions about every piece of direction that they're given. And they want to know the context, they want to know the why. And without proper communication and understanding rules and responsibilities, there tends to be a lack of trust and a lack of collaboration, because this is what I'm doing, you deal with it, you do the work that I give you to do. And that flows downstream. And then by the end of that, you almost always end up with a product that it feels disconnected, it feels discombobulated, because there was no communication to ensure some sort of cohesive output at the end of it. You'll also end up, because you have siloed teams, you have siloed objectives, and your design team is aiming for a different goal than your development team. So the design team wants something to look cool, and they want to be optimizing for the user's experience, and they want to be using modern design language, whereas the development team, they want to be optimizing for performance. They want to optimize for shipping features. They want to optimize for a totally different set of objectives and measures. And then again, you have this fractured product experience for the users. All of these challenges point to a lack of results. Everybody wants to change the world. Everybody wants to get that bonus. Everybody wants to ship something that they're proud of. But with these different breakdowns and challenges going unresolved for long, they fundamentally cannot deliver the results that each one of them hopes to achieve. So Tucker, what is a product team assessment?
So a product team assessment is a comprehensive evaluation that's tailored to the unique dynamics of your team. We're going to dive deep into your workflows, your communication, your collaboration practices to really identify those areas of improvement and your untapped opportunities. What we try to frame this around is really your organization's postures, disciplines, and structures. So your postures are going to be the physical and mental ways that we enter the space and we carry out our disciplines of work. Our disciplines are going to be the intentional practices of the activities that lead to the flourishing of your individuals, teams, and organizations. And structures are going to be all of the ingredients of the work that give it direction, constraints, and accountability to progress the individual, the team, and the organization. So Tyler, who is a product team assessment for?
So a lot of teams are ambitious and they want to achieve a lot together, but they can feel that they're not quite there yet for whatever reason. Sometimes it's a recently creative team of folks that have never worked together, so you might be joining two different teams from within the organization. You might have had a few new hires. It might be an existing team that has received a new assignment and they're wanting to start fresh with a new look at how they're working together. Or maybe it's a team that has been together for a while and they've just hit a wall in terms of what they're able to deliver. They're feeling lethargic. They're still producing great work, but they know that they're not doing everything they can or want to deliver a great product. The folks that we do these with range from startups to large enterprise teams, where it might be a startup team or a mature startup team that brings in the CEO, the COO, the product leaders, down to the designers and individual developers on the team. And they want to have a clean line of communication and alignment throughout that whole process, because they feel like they're misaligned somewhere and they're not getting to those objectives they set out for. We've also worked with larger organizations who have a dedicated product team, and they want to not just fix how they work together themselves, but also how they interact with other teams outside, whether it's the legal team or the sales team, or even interacting with customers and customer support. How do they optimize all of those interactions and then make the most of them? All right, Tucker, so what does a product team assessment entail?
So of course, like any engagement, we're going to start first with onboarding. Onboarding looks like our welcome videos, welcome emails, that's really spanning the entire structure of the organization. We first focus on your key leaders in the organization, because as we work with individual contributors, we want to make sure those key leaders understand why we're here, so that as they get questions about what we're doing and who we are, those leaders feel comfortable in answering those questions. So we'll talk about the outcomes, what we're driving towards, and the overall structure. Then we get into surveys and interviews. So it's important to us that we collect information from all levels of the organization. What we most often find is that while we're looking at the product teams themselves, there are factors outside of that product team that are actually influencing their work. And so we really need to get that 360 point of view, which is why we take surveys across the entire organization, the product organization. And then we will select interviews with a smaller subset to really get into that qualitative data across the team. We'll also be conducting meeting observations. So one thing we have found is that when we actually observe how a team is conducting themselves within meetings, that tells us a lot about what they value as an organization, where they might be having some challenges, where there could be mismatches in communication. Even going from one meeting to another, we can start to see how those dynamics are playing out and affecting the end outcomes of that team. Then we'll also do a process review. So with this process review, we're really trying to evaluate what your current workflow looks like, the different tools that you're using, and we're trying to identify where there might be some inefficiencies or areas of improvement. This could include recommendations around utilizing different tool sets. It could include recommendations around utilizing different workflows, really to make sure that your team is optimized for the results that you're trying to meet. We also conduct a comprehensive stakeholder mapping exercise. With this stakeholder mapping exercise, we're really working on identifying and categorizing their influence and interests throughout the organization so that we can make recommendations on how to better communicate across the entire organization. All of this goes into a comprehensive list of recommendations that we provide. This includes not just what we've observed, but actionable insights and strategies to meet those team needs that you have. They're all categorized into our postures, our disciplines, and our structures. And we don't stop there. We take those recommendations and we put them into a workshop with your team. That workshop is a really important part of this process, because that's where we pull all of your key leaders in and we get full alignment and buy-in on which of our recommendations you're actually going to proceed with and start to implement, and who will be owning that, when the first thing will be done, so that we can really create a accountability plan for your team. What we have found in a lot of organizations that have done assessments like these in the past is that there is no accountability plan. It kind of stops at the workshop, and then everybody gets back into their day-to-day, their busy lives, and they kind of forget about all this work that was done. What's different with us is with this accountability plan, we then take that and hold your team accountable over the next several weeks to months, depending on how we set up that plan. We meet with your team, whether that's asynchronously or synchronously, to understand what's getting in their way of achieving that plan, because we know that while we set this out, things are going to come up and things will need to be adjusted. And so we, as an outside party, will come in and hold that accountability. So that way you're not just stopping at these initial recommendations and results from this assessment, but actually taking that and turning it into action throughout your organization. Okay, so Tyler, what could a team expect to get out of an engagement like this?
So first of all, this isn't just about making sure the team is getting more done for the sake of it by optimizing for local maximums. We want to make sure the team is making better decisions, they're doing better work overall, and that they are able to unlock more opportunities because of it. So the first benefit is improved effectiveness overall. We can't only focus on efficiency, but it does matter. And performance as a group can definitely change the outcomes that the team creates. So another outcome you'd expect to get is a capability evaluation, where we'll look at the skill sets of everybody on your team and identify where there might be gaps according to where you might want to go as a team or as an organization. Is there a technology that you want to work in, but you don't have anybody who's up to par with that skill set? In addition to that, we'll also give you training materials or suggestions or opportunities to help develop that skill set within your team. You can also expect, of course, improved collaboration. We'll give you insights into how the team is working in terms of the processes and workflows they're using, and we'll give you recommendations on how to make the most of those, and also some new ideas to see if you can get some different results. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, is strategic alignment. We want to make sure that your team, everybody on the team, is working in the same direction, that they have the same objectives in mind, that their professional and craft goals, like designers and developers, that all of those goals are in line with the overall product goal, and that's in line with the organization. Make sure everything is moving in the same direction.
Crema's product team assessment is more than just a review process. It's really a strategic initiative that evaluates your team's postures, disciplines, and structures so that they can excel not only in product development, but really move your business forward.